gotta get their name.
Come to order. We'll now have a presentation of colors. County of Oxford Color Guard will advance the colors. And salute. We'll now have a scripture reading provided by the County of Stember, City of Peters, Boy Stater Thomas Cans, number 0352.
I'm reading John 15, lines 12 to 17. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. You are my friends, if you do whatever I command you. No longer do I call you servants, for a servant does not know what his master is doing. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard from my Father, I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you, and appointed you, that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give you. These things I command you, that you love one another.
We'll now have the Pledge of Allegiance. County of Oxford, City of Herslag, Boy Stater John Noselich, number 0722.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Well, now the band will perform the national anthem. We will all sing it. Let's do it with gusto and respect, please. We're now going to learn and sing the Boys State alma mater, assisted by the County of Cocotec, City of Triola, Boys Stater number 0171, Nathaniel Chamberlain, and the City of Kearsing, Boys Stater Brody Phelps, number 0195. Maestro, please.
Here in the cherry, in the airy valley, chorus fill and bring the cheer. That's where our Legion Boys State meets this year. We learn to live together, learn democracy, a melting pot of color, creed, and nationality.
Stay put. Hey, are you guys sleepy this morning?
Damn good.
Are you Boys Staters?
That was good!
Let's go. We're going to do it again.
One more, baby!
Maestro, please.
Here in the Cherry Valley, Morris begins with cheer. That's where our Legion Boys State meets this year. We learn to live together, learn democracy, a melting pot for color and creed and nationality.
Thank you, guys. I want you guys singing this in your sleep by the end of the week. Okay. We now have a memorial program for the deceased counselors and Boys Staters that passed away this year. Will be read by, it's not going to be read by him. Where's the memorial program? All righty. It's going to be Chuck Osterhout. Let's give Chuck a big hand.
That's a long walk. Not young like you are. This year's memorial service is dedicated to John Murphy. John passed away June 21st, 2022. He was supposed to have been here with us this week. He was a dedicated member of the American Legion. He was the executive director of our Boys State program for years. Please let us have a moment of silence. Okay. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, with reverence and love, we pause in our program to pay tribute to honor John Murphy, Boys Staters, and other counselors that passed away this past year. We ask that your blessing be bestowed upon their families and loved ones, that their deeds constitute a daily inspiration for those who remain. We ask that you also grant eternal rest of their ashes and with peace and happiness of their souls. Gracious Father, grant us the strength and the courage to continue the work in service of God and country and the programs for American Legion. In thy name we pray, amen.
All right. It's our great pleasure this morning to welcome back a Boys Stater. Colin Smith is a proud alumnus of Boys State and of American Legion Boys Nation. He's a graduate of Valley High School in Montgomery, New York, and Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C., with a degree in politics, theology, and religious study. Colin has spent much of his life dedicated to public service and political involvement. As a high school student, he became the youngest ever legislative aide in the New York Assembly. In 2009, Colin founded New Dawn, a New York State-based political action committee focusing on reforming state government. The cornerstone of New Dawn was Stop New York Double Dip. It was targeted at politicians that double-dipped with a state salary and a pension. At the present time, Colin runs operations for New York's, no, never mind that. That's old, Colin. I remember Colin when he came here. From day one, Colin blazed a path through Boys State. He was a sight to behold, and he has not stopped. He's a big supporter of Boys State in the American Legion. He's a proud patriot and a dedicated public service. So let's give a big hand for Colin Smith.
Thank you. Good morning, gentlemen. First full day here, beginning of a week, back to normal. This is first time in 2 years, right, that we're back in person. I'm very excited by that. I was here in 2007. That was when I was a Boy Stater, County of Roosevelt. Where's Roosevelt? How you guys doing? Still a little rowdy. It's good to see. I know you've been dealing with a little rain getting here, all the different craziness. It's a little smaller size than we're used to having after the delays and everything, but the most important thing is you've shown up, and you're here for a week that will last a lifetime. It's true. If you fully embrace this week, this will last a lifetime for you. Your contacts, your friends, your experiences, you'll be able to parlay this into anything that you want to. So a little bit about me. Just turned 32 years old. I'm from Orange County. Anybody here from Orange County, New York? There we go. I'm currently the state assemblyman for parts of Orange and Rockland counties in my second term. I'm a sergeant in the New York Army National Guard, based down at Camp Smith in northern Westchester. I'm sure we got some Westchester people here as well. And I am the candidate for the new New York 18th Congressional District, which is all of Orange County, half of Ulster County, for any of our Ulster County folks here, and almost all of Dutchess County. We got some Dutchess County folks here as well. That's great. So we got some representation from the Hudson Valley. I am married with my wife, Nikki, almost 4 years now. I previously was Director of Operations for the State Senate Homeland Security, Military Affairs, and Veterans Affairs Committee, Chief of Staff for one of the largest towns in Orange County, commercial real estate agent in the private sector, and 07 Boy Stater from New York, and 07 Boys Nation representative from New York State. I remember showing up in 2007 from Valley Central High School in Montgomery, New York, and getting here and saying, I wish they didn't take my cell phone. You still take the cell phones away? I remember saying, I wish they didn't take the cell phones away because I was going to call my dad and have him just come pick me up. I said, this sucks. What am I doing this for? I got to wake up and do PT with a bunch of Marines? No offense, Marines. They left, okay. So now we can talk some smack about the Marines. That's all right. You guys shouldn't, but I can. I was like, damn, I don't want to wake up this early and do PT with Marines. That's not what I signed up for after school just ended. And I remember saying, I'm going to find my way out of here. I'm going to get out of here. Then, to make matters even better, everybody's walking around with these great white shirts here, right? It's great. We don't stick out. We can blend in until they gave me those orange vests. Where are my road guards? All right, let's hear it for the road guards. Yes, road guards. So I was, I want to quit. They really made it great. They made me the guy wearing the orange vest. That made me feel even better. So now I'm the orange vest wearing guy who doesn't want to be here. What am I going to do with myself? And what I did with myself is turn from being the orange vest wearing guy who's looking for a way to quit to being the guy who's now invited back to address everybody. And it was the greatest honor of my lifetime to suffer through those first 18 to 24 hours of not wanting to be here, to end up having a great experience, not quitting, and showing up and fully participating. And that's what I just wanted to leave my quick message this morning with everybody is show up. You've already done that part. You've shown up. I've been able to show up every year and meet a bunch of wonderful young leaders, many who I stay connected with, who've interned in my offices, who volunteered on my campaigns. And the reason why I went from where you're sitting to being able to address you is because I chose to show up, even if I wasn't 100% confident, even if I wasn't 100% sure of what I wanted to do or what I wanted to say or how I would get to victory or get to the finish line, I showed up. And by just showing up here, you have already succeeded. And by waking up and saying, all right, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, you get there. And whatever that hurdle is, whether it be academic, whether it be personal, or whether it be professional, just showing up, just taking that first step, because most of our generations, they're not even willing to do that first step to show up. And you can break through doors, and you can break through boundaries, and you can achieve. That's one reason I brought my field director, my second highest staffer, Andrew. Andrew, why don't you wave to everybody? Say hi to Andrew, everybody. So Andrew's from Walk Hill, New York. We have any Walk Hill people? There we go. So there we go. Andrew's from Walk Hill, New York. He's a perfect example of what I mean to show up. Andrew graduated, was interested in politics. He didn't know where to begin. He said, do you have any jobs? And I said, I got a free job. You can make $0.00, and you can show up and volunteer. And most people will be scared away by that. But he said, I want to go, and one day I want to elect governors, and I want to elect U.S. senators. That's what his dream is. You don't start out electing governors and U.S. senators for any of the political people. That just does not happen. That's not how it works. I said, well, you can try it out for a day. We're not going to pay anything, and you can get some experience. You like it, great. You don't, whatever. At least you didn't have to wonder the rest of your life. But he showed up that first day. Surprisingly, he came back the second day. He came back the third day. He kept showing up so much, he's now my second highest staffer. I mean, that is talking about showing up. Opportunities come in life to those who show up, even if you're not sure, even if you're not 100% prepared, even if you're nervous, even if you think there's a million people better than you. Doesn't matter. By showing up, you're already exceeding expectations. You're already going above and beyond what most other people are willing to do. So the rest of this week, go outside your comfort zone, even if that means wearing that orange vest, keeping everybody safe. Even if that means you think you're governor and you end up being mayor. Even if that means you think that you were going to make the cut for something and you didn't, that's okay. Even if you have to do some crazy spider walk up the grass, and that's the last thing you want to do because you'd rather be doing almost anything else. End of June, I understand. That changes the trajectory of your life. This week does, and every day that you show up, it will change the trajectory of your life and allow you to be. You want to be the congressman like I'm trying to be, or the assemblyman like I am, or you want to be the best chef, you want to be the best musician, you want to be the next Derek Jeter, whatever it is, whatever your thing is in your head, if you show up and do it, you will achieve, and a bunch of people will be disgruntled after you. I say there's nothing more fitting than when after you showed up and you succeed, people want to imitate you, right? That I wouldn't say, don't feel offended by that. So many people, oh, this guy stole my idea, whatever. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Or the best is when you get people a little older than you, or like, why are they so grouchy to me? Why are they so mean to me? Even 5, 10 years older than you, is because you're out achieving them and they're afraid to show up and do the job. When you're surpassing people in school, when you're passing people in your career and they're getting cranky, it's because you're doing stuff they're afraid to do, and it's because you showed up. So on that note, I know we have a lot going on today. God bless you. Thank you for your patriotic duty here. Thank you to all of our counselors and legionnaires and auxiliary members and sons. Why don't we give them a round of applause? They're the best. And have a lot of fun this week. All right, gentlemen? Just have fun. soak it all in. I think we usually do 1 or 2 questions per side. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to, any questions on anything? Feel free. All right, I see the first volunteer there. Well, say your name first. All right, what do we say? Say your name and your number, and then tell me where you're from in real life. Not our made-up cities or counties, but where you're from real life. Right. And what was, well, thank you for and it was, what was I elected to? All right, so I was elected to be the road guard. Sorry for calling out the 2 guys I see wearing road guard, but not to make it any worse for you, but I'm just going to keep calling you out. So I was, I know it wasn't elected, somebody voluntold me. Have you learned what voluntold is already? So I got voluntold for all the worst positions here at Boise State. And I'm still coming back, so it turns out all right. So I got voluntold to be road guard, and then I was said, and I'm going to be governor. I'm sure one of you, you don't have to admit it, but somebody out there, if not multiple, be like, I'm only here because I'm going governor or bust. I'm going governor. I'm going to be governor of Boise State, and I'm going to Boise Nation. And that's it. No one's going to be able to get in my way. Well, I burned out for governor in the first round. I think they lost my vote for myself in the first round. That's how bad we did. And basically, I lost my window to do everything. And then all of a sudden, the mayor got assassinated or something like that. Yes, I don't know if you allow that anymore, but that did happen. The mayor got taken out, and the appointed state police, forgot to protect him that day, and he got hit with that water balloon. Don't get any ideas. I think they outlawed that after we did that. Then I got elected in the special election. It was a special election for mayor, and then I got appointed to a party position. The rules might be a little different nowadays. And I just gave up, honestly. I was like, oh, I'm just going to have fun. I'm not going to Boise Nation, whatever. Where's Dave? Mr. Downey? So Dave was my counselor. And next thing you know, he's pulling me in for an interview to go to Boise Nation because I took all the positions nobody wanted. People quit. And I thought I was out of the running, and they brought me in and said, well, you're the only guy willing to step up for all the positions people quit or refuse to take. We want to interview you. And then I got appointed to the Boise Nation slot through that process. So I took all the open, unfilled positions, rejected positions, and it worked out A-OK. I showed up to do those jobs. That was my unique pathway through Boise State. Sound good? My greatest memory from Boise State, that's a great question. So it's a little tough. This is the first morning, right? The first full morning. So wait till the last day. The last day is always my favorite. Was my favorite when I'm a Boise Stater. When everything comes together, this alma mater that everybody's saying is going to sound a lot more fun on the last day. And just that last day, connecting with everybody on social media, get everyone's cell phone, staying in touch with everybody, and just that fun experience of everything you're going to go through, and learning that alma mater and singing it on the last day for the last time. You may have seen, I've never forgotten it, and I love coming back every year. By that last day, you will never forget that alma mater. You won't have to look at that paper, guaranteed. That's something that I never forget. All right. What are the differences? So let me just, so you're asking what are the differences between the shadow government we make here and the real life? The differences between what's going on? So there was a little bit more people there just because this has been not in person for 2 years, so we got to build back up the body count here. So it was a little bit larger, but the general premise was the same. We had the Marines waking us up early. I'm assuming you woke up a little early, did some PT this morning. If not, I hate to break it to you, that's what's going to happen sometime tomorrow probably, or later today. So there's the Marines, did the PT, had different speeches, had different events, and it's very much similar. And that's the one guiding principle for the decades and decades that Boys State's been going on. It's been that constant thread of the military, patriotism, government, civics all rolled in together and almost executed the same way. And that's what the unique thing about Boys State is. After you go through this experience, when you go into college, into the professional world, I run into Boys Staters and Girls Staters from all different eras, the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and today, even from different states, and they all have very similar programming. And it's a unique thing, and it's really the best fraternity or anything you could be in, because I've gotten jobs, I've gotten campaign donations, I've gotten everything from people. Oh, I was Boys State, Wisconsin, 1986. Oh, that's great. And it's something, and you almost have, each state kind of does a little different, but you have the same themes and similar experiences, and it's something that's going to connect you with people for the rest of your life, and it's going to benefit you for the rest of your life. You're going to have to come a little closer and feel free to yell. You come up closer, I'm sorry. It's hard to hear in that far corner. Gotcha. So he's asking if Boys State what inspired me in politics, or is that something I had beforehand? I showed up very interested in government and politics. It was a big driver of why I was interested in the Boys State program. And that's why I try to do as many of the things here at Boys State as possible. But it did connect me with other like-minded guys from around the state. Many, I'm thinking of several out the top of my head that I'm still in contact with. We've gone to each other's weddings and stuff. Some are in politics now in New York with me. Some that are through Boys Nation in politics across the country. So if you are interested in politics or get interested in politics, you're going to have a great connection to start off with statewide right here. Absolutely.
I'm Mason Burke from Canandaigua, New York. I'm 153. My question is, when you were in Boys State, did you have anyone come back to give a speech to you like you're giving it to Josh right now?
Yes, I did. And I don't think he was the governor from the year before, not the New York governor, the Boys State governor, so even more important. I remember he was on the interview committee for Boys Nation that year. He spoke and then interviewed me. And I remember saying, oh, you get invited back? He's like, if you go to Boys Nation, you get invited back. And I said, well, I'm going to go to Boys Nation, and I'm going to get invited back. He's like, oh, we'll see. I guess it worked out all right for me. So yes, so you could be doing this too. Boys Nation. So Boys Nation is very much different than Boys State here. A lot less guys. You go to D.C. You're flown to D.C. I don't know what the situation will be like nowadays with everything in the world the way it is, but we got President George W. Bush was the president at the time. I got to meet the president at the White House. His name has been in the news a lot, but Justice Samuel Alito was a Boys Stater in New Jersey, so I actually got to meet Justice Alito at the Supreme Court, in the Supreme Court chamber, which was a life-changing experience. And if you've seen the news lately, you might see he's made a couple headlines. And got to meet Hillary Clinton, Chuck Schumer, our congressmen, other senators from around the country, and then meet guys from all different walks of life, from all different states, and they are all off, and some are majors now. Actually, the first one just got promoted to major in the regular Army, so they're leaders in the military, other elected guys, and you actually integrate with Girls Nation, unlike here where it's totally separate. You do a bunch of joint events with Girls Nation, so we meet all the Girls Nation senators as well, and many of them are very successful as well in multiple different jurisdictions. So it's very, there's no military aspect to it. It's all government, meeting government leaders and expanding your network to be very successful in leadership off the top. Somebody over here I saw standing? Yes, you were standing up. Stand up, yell. Okay. So he's asking, does this have any similarities or real life impact? So politics, this may or may not make some people happy, is high school for adults. There's a lot of crazy stuff that happens. And sometimes I feel like I'm back in high school. Who's starting rumors? Who's making fun of people? I mean, you see it, right? Some of you guys see that on TV, right? Or social media. But a lot of times it's like that. But Boys State, there's a lot, some wheeling and dealing. I'm sure that's going to happen here. And there's some conversations in the corner, and you think somebody's your friend, and next thing you know, they're supporting, Fish County over here. Like, what the heck? I've been sitting next to you sweating all day, and how'd you screw me over like that? That might happen. Let's hope it doesn't. Make sure none of those guys next to you screw you over like that. But in real life, it can be cutthroat. Friendships can flip on a dime, and it's human nature. So the human nature and that experience you're going to experience here, good or bad, that's translates very well into what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. And then people making arbitrary decisions that you want to, like, why is this counselor Marine telling me this? Well, I had to break it to you. You might think that it's not a good idea. Well, your whole life is going to be spent thinking somebody's telling you something that's not a good idea. So if you just accept it now, your life will be a lot easier. They're right. There's a method to the madness, even if you don't see it. So just accept it and go with it. Somebody over here, whoever, both of you, one of you, whatever you want. Good question. It was my end of my freshman year of college. He asked what was the turning point that I realized there was a value to all this, what's going on. So it would be the end of my freshman year of college. I went to Catholic University of America down in Washington, D.C., and I was a political nerd, and I wanted to get involved with something, and I kept annoying somebody to have a meeting with me. And I had to go down to Georgetown, which is a part of Washington, D.C., and I had to go to meet somebody at a bar for kind of like a quasi-interview, and it turned out that they were a Boy Stater from Texas from the early 90s, and he basically was just annoyed with me for annoying him so much that he was willing to, have French fries and a drink with me for 5 minutes, and then he found out I was a Boys Stater and Boys Nationer, and now that person ends up, I've been in touch with the rest of my life and has helped get me some of the jobs I've had and the career I had. And so that one thing changed my whole trajectory, just that one conversation. Yes? Those who are interested in possibly going to Boys Nation, how do you stand out? You never know. It's subjective. But as I mentioned, what you might think is the straight line there is not always the straight line. We had this one, Mr. Downey won't admit it, he might remember, I remember, we had this one kid who was a real suck-up. He was like, oh, the toilet paper's out, I'm going to go get the toilet paper. No, it's not. Oh, I'll do, whatever. Like, this guy's like, oh, you want me to, scrub the floor with the toothbrush? No one asked him to do that. He was doing stuff everyone knows guys like that, right? So I kind of resigned to the fact, well, that guy, listen, he's scrubbing the floor with the toothbrush for no reason. That guy's definitely, I'm not doing that, right? I was like, well, this guy's extra. Who would think to do that? So I was like, I'm out. I didn't think to do things like that, but I just went about my business. Like I said, I was willing to take willing to wear the orange vest and stand out. I was willing to take the positions nobody else was willing to do. I was willing to help a battle buddy, because you're not perfect. You might be able to one who can make your bed perfectly, but somebody else might not. You might be the person who's a PT stud, but the other guy's never done a push-up, whatever it might be. So what your strength is, help other people with that strength. And if you're that guy who's a team player, your chances of success in that regard are going to be significantly higher. The guy who thinks he's Rambo and can do everything by himself here, probably going to be knocked down lower on the list. And in life, those guys might win sometimes, but I've noticed very rarely actually get to the final rung at the end of the day. So, yes, sir, back there standing. Speak up or come a little closer. The acoustics are tough. That's a good question. No, I did not. I might have exaggerated a little bit on that, on the way the vacancy came about, for dramatic flair. But back in the day, do we still have state police appointed, state police? Did that happen yet? Do we have the state police appointed? So if you are the state police, you become the state police, you have to protect certain dignitaries, and just like in real life, things could happen. And so make sure you do your job right. Let's just say that, all right? All right, I think we have time for one more. Is there one more question? There we go. From Roosevelt, we'll go out on top. Not at all. It's not recognized anymore after our year. It was banned. It can't actually happen anymore. All right, one more question that's a real question. This guy. You never know who's going to be on the committee. So make sure that everybody's watching. You might think the person cleaning the toilets isn't on the committee and they end up being the chair, and you're going to regret being mean to them. Maybe not you, but somebody, so you don't know. But yes, let me clarify, there is no way to do that anymore. It was a little bit of dramatic flair, so don't get too excited. State police, though, have a job to do, and they will be tested by the counselors to make sure you're doing your job. Don't do anything stupid, but have fun, all right? On that stuff, and people could resign positions or whatever for various reasons, and scandals could happen. So don't do stupid shit, all right? Don't do stupid shit. You don't want to do extra PT. The Marines have a lot of options. And if you do want to do extra PT, well, just go do it. Don't be because you did stupid shit, all right? On that, thank you, everybody. Don't do stupid shit, and have fun.
We have a couple of souvenirs for Colin. He's already got a hearty collection of assorted Boys State swag. More importantly, a certificate of appreciation from Boys Legion, Boys State. For the purposes of introduction, I'll call on our state police, Sean Wood.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, well, all right, just a couple things. First, after this is over, the elected sheriffs and troopers will meet me at the back of the room in the northwest corner. Understand, elected sheriffs, troopers only, okay? I'm very honored to introduce some VIPs we have here today that will be discussing their jobs their departments, and what state police sheriffs do in the real life. First, I'd like to introduce, Lieutenant Kevin Fiola from the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Also, I'd like to introduce Chief John Little from the Oneida City Police. Okay, for the state police and the troopers, we will have our meetings in Crawford Hall, which is headquarters, in room 108. Again, elected sheriffs and troopers in the back of the room only. One quick thing as far as protocol. The bathrooms, you use the porta pots in the back. These bathrooms back here are for the band and the councils only. Everyone understand? All right, thank you, gentlemen.
We're going to have a short musical break now. Stand up and stretch. Get a drink if you need to. Keep the roar to a minimum, please. Okay, we're now going to have a sports update provided by Jonathan Becker.
Morning, gentlemen. Hopefully everyone's had a chance to check out the schedules and know when and where you're playing today or tomorrow or Wednesday. Like I said, those will be updated daily, so make sure you are reporting your scores when you're done with your game. That helps the process go a lot smoother. And look for the daily updates. And most importantly, have fun. Thank you.
Ken, do you guys still need to make announcements? Okay. We're going to have some announcements from the state counselors, Albert Clune and Ken Sedgwick.
Good morning, gentlemen. The lobbyists, the guys that signed up last night for lobbyists, there were over 25 of you. I'm going to ask to meet today at 2 o'clock at Carlton Hall, or sometimes pronounced Charlton Hall, spelled Charlton Hall. It's the second building on the left when you leave the dining hall, Seneca, and go that way, okay? And so anybody who signed up and wants to continue as a lobbyist needs to be there at that building. We meet in the basement, and the entrance that you use is in the back of the building towards the road. At the meeting, then there's another meeting that we need the party chairs for each party, assistant chair, and clerks. At 3:30, you meet here, and that's both parties, both the Nationalist Party and the Federalist Party. The person that each party elected in their caucus as their chairman, his assistant, whether he was elected or appointed, and the clerk need to be here to prepare for tonight's convention. Okay, everybody got that? Any questions, Ken? You need to add anything? Okay, thank you.
We now have a music video, Why Freedom Isn't Free, by Chris Penderson.